show you this.
Ever had a problem that you just couldn't solve? Or a dream you wished could come true? The sort of thing that left you desperately seeking someone, anyone, to come to your rescue.
It would sure do me good. Do you good, let me help.
Well, worry no more, because I'm your very own agony aunt, your new best friend, the fairy godmother you've always wanted. I'm Anna, and I'm here to help. And all you have to do is ask.
How are you, Anna? My name is Tony.
My name is Maureen.
Hi, my name is Carol O'Connor.
Robbie Quigley is my name.
My problem is I get a panic attack when I go to drive through Tralee town.
I'd really like some help with my flirting techniques.
I want to be a superstar actor, so please help me.
This summer I was lucky enough to travel around the country and meet 8 very different people who had one thing in common. They all wanted help with something. Thanks to lots of expert input and plenty of encouragement from me, they all succeeded in achieving what they set out to do. And now that some time has passed, I thought I'd see how they're getting on. First up, I'm meeting Maureen Noonan from Dingle, who asked for my help because she was terrified of driving through the town of Tralee. Maureen really needed to overcome this fear as she wanted to get her driving test. So we went for a drive together and I witnessed how bad her problem really was.
So how are you feeling? I really feel queasy. I see a lot of traffic and I feel like pulling in here, actually.
We can't go any further.
No.
What Maureen is getting is your typical panic attack. Only hers is confined, somewhat unusually, just to cars.
After a lot of hard work behind the wheel, she was eventually ready to take on Tralee.
Are you going to do it?
I'll try it, yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Maureen succeeded in her mission.
Thank you.
You did your trip around Tralee?
And the last time we saw her, she had just passed her driving test.
One of the best experiences of my life, about having the children.
So, Maureen, show me it. Show me the proof.
Okay. That's it.
Congratulations, your driving licence. Is it real?
It is real.
Well
Sweat
done.
and tears.
I know. How do you feel that you've got this?
I felt great. The relief is unreal. I actually have to keep on reminding myself that, you know, that I actually have it.
How's the driving going now?
It's going fine. The last time I was in Tralee, the nerves weren't there. It was
Gone.
They were gone.
So what does it mean now that you can drive into and around Tralee?
It means that I don't need to be relying on people. I'm independent. It has given me a heap of courage, really.
So really by getting this, you know, you not only have passed your test, but you've changed as a person.
Yes. New Year's Eve this year, I'll look back and I'll say, wow, what a year. And mean it. Usually I look back with dread and say, oh my goodness, another year of what? You know, what's the year going to bring? But this year, I'm actually looking forward to next year to, you know, I feel some days that there's no stopping me.
Hi, I'm Norman Newell, and I've had a phobia about dancing. And in fact, the phobia is so bad that I haven't danced in many, many years. And Anna, I'd really like it if you could help me to learn to dance.
I'm the dancing doctor and I'm here to help.
To find out just how bad Norman's unusual phobia was, I took him dancing.
Would you like to dance with me?
I'd love to dance with you if I could, but I don't want to.
Okay. What do you think's going to happen?
It's not logical, it's not rational, it's just a fear. And I can't explain it. I know I'm going to panic.
So I hooked him up with life coach Pemo Theodore, who traced Norman's fear back to an unpleasant experience in his younger years.
We regressed, me anyway, back to my teenage life and what I felt on the dance floor. And it was a great description. It was like dancing naked.
Dancing lessons got him into the groove.
Bula boss. Norman's getting his groove
Well
back.
done.
Absolutely.
And to help Norman overcome his self-consciousness, I got him to do an unusual exercise. After this, dancing in public should have seemed like a walk in the park.
I think boundaries have been pushed, there's no doubt.
In the end, I got a fearless Norman onto the floor, and the last time I saw him, we were larging it in a Dublin nightclub.
So Norman, was there a moment where your thoughts changed? Obviously, before you started the programme, you thought, I can't dance, I don't want to dance. So was there a moment?
I think it was the realisation that you could do this for fun. And it wasn't about having to do it correctly all the time.
And did you learn anything about yourself from the whole experience?
Yeah, I learned that I don't have to be the perfectionist and everything. I don't have to be the best at everything I do, and that sometimes it's just enjoy it.
And what has the reaction been like? You know, have people come up to you and said, "Dancing man," or?
Yeah, people come up to me in supermarkets. They've come up to me in shops.
And what do they say?
Just, you know, a lot of them are saying, "Fair play, you know, really good. I have the problem as well." But to see somebody go from beginning to the end, just thought it was great, you know? Somebody could do it.
So, Norman, have you been dancing?
It's Denise's company do. And,
Christmas do?
Apparently everybody's dance ticket is booked with me. So.
Oh, really? They're all dying for a dance with the pro.
Yeah.
Will you be worried about what people think when you go to the Christmas do?
No. No. Unless they ask me to wear the wetsuit.
During the course of the series, I called on a range of talented experts to work with the people who asked for help. One of them, psychotherapist Dr. Anya Tubridy, was instrumental in helping Maureen overcome her driving problems. And I want to talk to her about some of the issues she dealt with on Ask Anna.
Anya, we had a lot of interest from people who had watched the programmes that dealt with anxiety. Is it a widespread problem?
Yeah, very much so in our society now. Why, anxiety is really only a medical word for fear.
Okay.
You know, so there are a lot of fears nowadays. Fears about money, fears about doing things on time, fears about being good enough. You know, a lot of fears. So you know, the more we acquire, and the more there is to gain, the more fear that I'm not going to get it.
Now, like I get anxious sometimes, which is okay. I'm sure you get anxious sometimes, but I don't get panic attacks. So how come for some people it goes that far?
A panic attack is it's a collection of symptoms that's the result of a sudden surge of adrenaline into the bloodstream. Their heart is beating forcefully, they're sweating, they can't breathe, their muscles tense, they get dizzy. It all happens at once. Whereas like for you and I, or people who are a little bit anxious about something like an interview or an exam, that's just happening at a lower level.
So what can people do?
They need to be helped to actually control the symptoms, because that's where a lot of the fear is coming from. I'll get that set of symptoms and I won't be able to control it. And they have all sorts of fears, like that they lose control and do something irrational, shout, throw something, push somebody down, or that they'll collapse and an ambulance will have to be called, or that they'll have a heart attack, or that they'll go mad, go psychotic. So getting rid of a lot of those fears, I think, is a huge weight off their mind. Their adrenaline just drops. And then the second part is actually teaching them to slow their breathing and to relax their muscles, and more than anything to change their thoughts to safe ones.
Are there a lot of people out there who are not doing anything about it out of maybe embarrassment?
I always say this to clients, have you ever met anybody else who panics? And they say no. And I say, actually you have. You probably know about 5 people who panic, but nobody's letting on.
And why don't
they? You know, because it's not the kind of dinner party conversation that our culture allows you to speak about. You can talk about your, you know, your slip disc or something. It's part of the mental realm, and that's got a stigma in our society. So that's why I just think it's great if people will talk about it more, and it'll be, you know, that a person could turn to a total stranger in public and say, "Excuse me, I'm having a panic attack, could you help me?" And not think twice about it.
Robbie Quigley is my name. I'm 28 years of age and I want to be a superstar actor, so please help me.
Robbie had no acting experience whatsoever, but he wasn't lacking in confidence, so I threw him in at the deep end.
He pulls your knife, you pull a gun. He puts one of yours in a hospital, you put one of his in a morgue.
It quickly became clear that he had a lot of work to do, so I took him to top acting coach Conal Carney.
I've never really been into reading stuff like this.
Preconceived notions are the things that are the barriers.
By the end of our time together, he was taking on Shakespeare.
Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand.
I also got Robbie an audition for a small part in a feature film, and the last time I saw him, I had some good news.
I'd just like to let him know, and all of you know, that he's got the part in the feature film.
Jurassic Park!
So Robert, how's the acting career going?
It's going well, Anna. It's going very well, actually.
You've done the film, haven't you?
Yeah, just finished last night. Did the final scene.
How was it?
Very good. Had a great time. It was a great experience. Just to be a part of it. Just felt good. Felt important.
Did you?
Yes.
Like a star?
Like a star. All set. Ready for action.
Bouncers.
Come on. No problem, lads. No problem. He's with me. He's with me. It's okay.
Since appearing in Ask Anna, Robbie has also joined a local amateur drama society and has been given his first starring role. He's going on tour early in the new year.
Thank you. How's that going to affect home life, doing plays, touring, whatever?
If I can work the drama around, you know, my working life as well, because we all have to work, but, you know, I'm gonna keep doing it. Like,
so you're going to take it seriously?
Yeah, you know, it's not like this wasn't just a shot in the dark. Like, this is, you know, I really want to, I want to move on with it.
And action! It's no problem, lads. He's with me. It's okay.
So you won't forget me when you're offered that £40 million lead role in Hollywood?
You'll be right up there with me.
Okay.
Babe.
Thanks very much.
No problem.
Thank you very much, boys and girls, for backing up. That is a wrap.
I could be the next James Bond.
How are you, Anna? My name is Tony, and I would certainly like your help at flying, because I'm terrified of it.
One of my first tasks with fearful flyer Tony was setting him a goal to work towards.
What I want you to do is to come with me to a travel agent and book 4 flights to Paris for next weekend.
Oh. Oh gosh, I don't know about that.
Then, to help him overcome his phobia, I took him to a fear of flying course given by Jeffrey McNabb, a man who must be a contender for the title of the world's most enthusiastic flyer.
Yo, up she goes, atta girl. Burn rubber, baby, burn rubber.
To graduate from the course, we had to take a short flight. And as takeoff approached, Tony was terrified.
Please announce the departure of flight number RE273 to Cork. This flight's now ready for boarding to gate C51.
But with Jeffrey by his side, he took to the skies.
That's it now, Tony. You're flying.
And returned home to his delighted family in one piece. 1 week later, Tony fulfilled a major ambition and flew to France with his wife, Eleanor.
Now, the last time I saw you two, you were heading off to Paris. How did it go?
Great, I really enjoyed it.
It was just fantastic. Like, and I'd been there a few times before without himself, but with him there, I mean, just like a completely different place.
Yeah, I thought I'd see that. Oh, there you go.
There you go now.
And so how was the flight over?
Well, it was still scary.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
The fear hasn't gone completely?
No.
It's a really difficult fear to get over, isn't it? It's really tough. And I suppose part of me wonders, when we worked with you, did we conquer the fear or did we just put it to the side?
It helped in certain things to think a little bit more positive of flying and how safe it is compared to driving a car, perhaps. And it did give me a bit more confidence, but I'm still nervous.
Are you going to fly again?
I don't know.
There's definitely more work to do if Tony is to fully overcome his fear of flying. So I'm back at Dublin Airport to catch up with expert Jeffrey. I want to see what else we can do for Tony and to discuss this phobia a little more.
Jeffrey, I have to say, after the programme went out about Tony and his fear of flying,
We got so many calls from people who have the same fear. We could make a series out of this problem. It's really common, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yes, gosh, it's much more common than people would realise. It's just that people sometimes are a bit reluctant to do anything about it.
Yeah. Like, say, on an average plane, how many people are scared?
Well, some of the experts would say as many as 4 out of 5 people on a flight would be nervous one way or another. Now that could just be it could just be very, very minor nerves as against a complete phobia. A phobia is an irrational fear where it really runs your life. So people who don't fly are letting that run their life.
So what can people do if they have a fear of flying?
Well, you can do the fear of flying course, but if you haven't time or can't always necessarily afford to do that, just go into an airport environment. You know, go out to airports, if there's an observation viewing gallery, see planes take off and land so that you can understand that the great big letter that runs through it all is S for safety.
How would you assess how Tony is at the moment?
Well, Tony has made enormous progress, but he's still a little bit nervous. Now, he's okay when he's up there, but he doesn't like takeoff. I think that's because he can't see what's going on.
So what do you suggest we do about it?
Well, when I run the course, I have what I call Jumpseat magic. So
what's the Jumpseat?
The Jumpseat is being in the flight deck with the pilots. There is, in fact, a little seat usually between the pilots, a little bit further back. but it means that you're in there with the pilots for the takeoff, the cruise and the landing.
And you think this is going to work?
I think in Tony's case it will make a very big difference.
What do you think about that?
Oh, it sounds interesting. So, you know,
Would you do it though?
yes.
We'll see how Tony gets on with his Jumpseat flight at the end of the show. But first, two of the most popular shows in the series feature that most universal of problems, romance. Or rather, how to find romance. Galway woman Carol felt she was stuck in a singles rut and didn't feel she had the self-confidence to make an impression on men.
Sometimes I think I'm not pretty enough or I'm not thin enough.
Dublin-based divorcee Brian was sick of being every girl's best friend and no one's boyfriend.
I tend to always end up in the good friend category and, like, you know, a bit of the, like, Brian, I really like you as a person. Like, you know, you sort of
hate that
don't you?
Brian and Carol had to face some tough home truths on their journeys towards romantic success.
I think the red trousers will have to be binned. All it says is there's me and there's my big bottom in a pair of red trousers.
It's a very, very feminine gesture. He does have enough for people to get the wrong impression of him.
What, that he might be gay?
That he might be gay.
But in the end, they both made real progress. Carol felt confident enough to ask out a complete stranger.
I absolutely thought she was brilliant to actually have the courage to do that.
And at a singles dinner party, no one could believe that Brian ever needed help in the first place.
I'd be shocked.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be really shocked. Because he just seemed so confident, so at ease.
Time to catch up with Carol, Brian and our dating expert, Maureens Prunty, for a little chat about everyone's favourite topic.
Carol, any gossip?
I've been on a few dates. I have to say they were a lot easier than I expected. Because I kind of had this attitude, right, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to let these guys intimidate me or anything. And it actually worked. You know, I appreciate myself better, like, and I like myself a lot more than I used to. And I think that helps.
So are you saying you've asked somebody out? Is that what you said?
Well, I did, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I met a guy a couple of weeks ago and, well, it was by text. And just asked him if he'd fancy meeting up again. He said yes. So we met last weekend.
Great.
And it was really good.
Now, Brian, the last time I saw you
Yes.
was at the dinner party.
That's right, yeah.
And everyone was getting on very well. Anything happened that evening?
Not that evening, but basically I have been involved with someone pretty much since about that time.
Brilliant.
Which, you know, a gentleman never tells, so I won't go into details. But yeah, but I have been seeing someone, and that's really nice. I just feel so much more myself.
Why do you think that is?
I still think the thing that I gained most of all was the things that I lost. You know, like the feeling of neediness, the feeling that I needed to have somebody else, the fear of rejection and all of those things, and they just really have gone by the by.
What sort of reactions have you been getting?
This woman stopped me in the street one day and she had her little kid with her. She says, "You're the girl that was on TV." And I says, "Yeah." "Oh my gosh," she says, "you were such an inspiration to me, you know, and, you know, I've been divorced 10 or 14 years or whatever it was, and she says, "Thought your show was absolutely fantastic, and, you know, you really helped me." And
Well, lovely to hear that from somebody that, you know, you've made a bit of a difference to
absolutely.
someone's life.
Yeah.
You know, did you get any interesting reactions, Brian?
I signed my first autograph a couple of weeks ago.
You did not.
One of the things a lot of people said to me was, you must be really, really brave to go on that show. And I just really didn't see it that way. I just thought it was a golden opportunity that came my way, and that really I would have been a fool I thought it would have been cowardice not to take that opportunity. And I'm so glad I did. You know, it's just been such a positive experience.
The observations of Ms Maureens Prunty gave us some of Ask Anna's most entertaining moments.
You love your hair, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're going to have to love it in an envelope.
Can I just say on camera that you are like a double D E-cup, and that is a really fantastic thing to be.
Maureens, there are lots of single men out there and lots of single women out there, and they're not getting together.
Yeah.
What can we do about this?
The more that we're taking control of other areas of our lives, you know, we're all taking control of where we live and buying nice furniture and taking control of our wardrobes and taking control of our jobs, and yet relationships is still the one area where people feel they can't take control. that what's going to happen is they're going to walk into a bar and they're just going to look across the room and their love of their life is going to be standing there and he's going to be wearing the right shoes, you know, and he's going to have, everything is going to fall into place.
Yeah, it's like you want it to happen by magic.
Boom, like this. And it is this big Hollywood dream thing that we've been sold. So while we could be very pragmatic in other areas of our life, that is kind of like the final holy grail of kind of silliness. You know, what I would say to people is go out there and take control, meet people, do what you're doing, Carol. Ring a guy up, say, do you want to meet me again? You know, we're kind of very embarrassed about wanting to take control of these things. We feel somehow that we're less than if we join an agency or if we, you know, look through the internet or if we ask our friends. You know, there's this thing of, you know, if I'm having a dinner party and I invite a single girl and a single, you know, you can't tell either of them because they're kind of like, oh no, you're setting up at a blind date. Immediately they're going to think that I'm really sad. So that the option is either being a, you know, a really sad single person who doesn't have a partner and is desperately looking for someone, or someone who's on their own and doesn't want anyone and doesn't care, you know, and isn't interested in relationships. And there is something in between, which is, like you guys, people who are really great, who are really fantastic relationship potential, who really deserve and would make fantastic participants in a loving relationship, who are, hey, free and single. Do you know what I mean? And out there looking. And that it's actually, it's a really positive thing. It's a positive thing for you, and it's a positive thing for all those single people out there that are looking for somebody.
Two experts who featured regularly in Ask Anna were life coaches Pemo Theodore and Owen Fitzpatrick. Pemo helped Carol overcome her problems, and Owen worked very successfully with Brian.
What was that experience like?
Really positive.
Life coaching is still relatively new to Ireland, so I'm meeting up with both of them to find out more about this discipline.
So Pemo, can you tell me what a life coach is?
One of the main uses for life coaching is for to help people through any sort of change, either change that they're already experiencing or change that they want to affect in their lives. It's like having a best friend or someone that's going to go the distance with you. As with a sports coach, that achieves incredible success when the power of two, so to speak. So when one falls down, the coach keeps going.
I love the idea of I suppose, getting help along the way. You know, it's going to happen to us all at some stage in our lives. And I know there are people who are saying, why do people go to therapists? Why do, you know, life coaches? And you should be able to handle it yourself. But, you know, more often than
there's
not.
a lot of things that we should be able to do. You know, I mean, a lot of people talk about this as being common sense, but unfortunately it's not very common. You know, I mean, it's all about starting to think in ways which help and assist your own life. And a lot of people find that, well, I'm okay, but they tend to get angry really easily, or they get stuck in traffic, or their car breaks down, or their computer crashes, and all of a sudden everything is just totally overwhelming them. And basically, I suppose what we really do is we help people to deal with the situations that happen in everyday life. It's a very rewarding experience when people are able to go in with one set of behaviours, with one set of feelings, and come out transformed and be able to achieve what they've always wanted.
It's time for Tony to take his place on the jump seat. As expected, he looks nervous. And back at Dublin Airport, I'm eagerly awaiting his return to see how he got on.
Here's Anna. Welcome back to Dublin.
Oh,
Welcome back.
how are you?
How was that?
Fabulous.
Congratulations.
Fantastic. I want to go back up again.
Seriously? What was it like sitting in the cockpit, you know, on the jump seat and take off? Were you nervous?
I was a bit nervous, but I kept my eyes open, as Jeffrey said, and I just went with the flow and I just forgot about everything.
How do you think he's done?
Oh, brilliant. Jump seat magic. Never fails.
That's what you call it, don't you?
Jump seat magic, yeah. I hope what he just remembers now, that when he sits down the back of the plane, or anywhere in the plane as a passenger, that he remembers, and when he sees the closed cockpit door, he now knows what the two pilots are doing.
And do you think now it's made, you know, your takeoff in the future easier?
Well, I'd say so.
Really?
I think so, yeah. I definitely think so.
You want to get back up there, don't you?
I'll be back soon with a brand new series of Ask Anna, and I'm looking for more people to take part in the show. Maybe you're a shopaholic, or maybe your love life is a disaster. Perhaps you need a change of career, or maybe your partner is a slob. Maybe you need to plan a wedding on a shoestring, or maybe there's something completely different that you need help with. Remember, I'm here to help. All you have to do is ask. call 01 4100 845 or email askanna@stopwatch.ie. I'll see you soon and have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year.